Hey guys, it's Sam from Vibeshift, and today I want to talk about quite an important topic, I think, for young men today. And that topic is becoming a man. What does that mean anymore? It seems like a lot of people think of becoming a man as some kind of bad thing, like it relates to some kind of toxic masculinity or something like this, but it's not. It's not the case. Throughout history, men have had an initiation from going from boyhood to manhood, and in society nowadays we've lost that initiation, and that's okay. We now need to understand what it was in those initiation ceremonies that really made the man and made him strong, made him go from being a boy who always needed his mother to a man who could rely on himself, who could support others, and would be strong. So the first thing, I've got 4 points here, and the first point that I want to talk about, or it's a principle, I suppose. The first thing one should know from going from boyhood to manhood is to know your purpose. What are you doing? Or more importantly, why are you doing it? So for example, in my life, I've gone through quite a lot of different paths in terms of what I wanted to do. But when I looked at the underlying theme underneath it all, it was always to help people in some kind of way. It was always to try and bring some kind of value into people's life, to make sure that they could be stronger mentally, physically, or in the work that they do. I've done quite a lot of things in my life so far. I've become a musician from a very early age in a relatively successful band for the time, and I've gone from there to being a web developer, to a designer, to then doing that on a contract basis, to being a life coach, which I still am now. And the underlying theme throughout all of that has been to help people. I've built technology, and I still continue to build artificial intelligence that helps people measure their vital signs and aspects of their health and their breathing, for example. So the point I'm trying to make here is that it doesn't necessarily matter what you do. It just matters that you know why you're doing anything. Like, what is your purpose in this life? What is it that you really want to achieve? And it doesn't have to be a concrete thing like, I need to get to this specific goal. In fact, it can be worse sometimes if you do set that goal, because once you get to that goal, you can find that you stagnate and you're like, oh, I achieved the goal, what now? Like, what's left in life for me now? So if it's more a principle or a moral standing that you want to take in terms of what your purpose is, that's going to help you navigate your life, because you're going to be able to weave and try loads of different things, which is necessary for when you're young. You need to experience the breadth of experience, and then once you've gotten to a certain age, then you can experience the depth of whatever it is that you choose to experience or choose to carry on. So that's the first thing from going from boyhood to manhood, because you need to know that purpose. You need to know why you're doing what you're doing, and that gives you a sense of direction, a sense of integrity throughout your actions in the future. The second thing I've got down here is know who you want to be around. This is an important one because a lot of people don't know who they want to be around, and they don't know who they want to become and why they want to become that person as well. Now, the reason I say this is not to discard people, for you to discard people necessarily in your life, but it is absolutely critical that you understand that the people that you spend the most time around is a very, very commonly thrown around saying, but the people that you spend the most time around are the people that you end up becoming. You take on their traits. You might have had a relationship where you started using some of the words that they're using, and your vocabulary becomes theirs, and vice versa. So know who you want to be around, because their traits, their actions, their principles slowly become your principles. It becomes your tribe. Humans are tribalistic animals. We're social, which means we pick up things that other people do, and we do them ourselves as well. We are a lot of the time, a lot less independent than we like to think that we are. So it's super important. You can be around friends who are living a healthy lifestyle. They want to improve in loads of areas of their lives, and they want to take you with them. Or you can be around people who want to stay where they are, and that's fine, because some people are very comfortable like that, and they're very happy like that, and that's not to discredit that. But if that's not what you want, you can't be around that. Or, for example, if you've got people who are self-sabotaging themselves in certain ways, it's not to say that you can't help them, or you can't try and help those people, but you must be good in yourself before you help those other people. You can't help someone until you've helped yourself. It's like when you get on an aeroplane, they show you the video of the mask you put on your face when the plane is crashing. You have to put it on yourself before you put it on your child, because how can you help your child if you can't breathe? It's the same thing for your friends and your family and anyone who's close to you. It's so essential that you are good yourself first before you help anyone else. And that's what I would say about that, because it's not about discarding people out of your life. So why does this relate to, coming back to the point, boyhood to manhood? You need to know who you want to be around, because who you are around will be what you become. If you are around people who are strong, who are stoic, who are motivated, then it's very unlikely that you're going to fall back. You've got strong people around you who will support you through whatever it is that you want to do in your life. So the third point, the third of 4 points. You must break away from home. This is a bit of a sad one, and we must understand, I think, that pain itself generates growth. Wherever you see pain in life, you eventually see growth. If you've had a breakup, for example, a heartbreak, you know that after that heartbreak, you can be catapulted into some of the best moments of your life, or the biggest periods of growth. There's something about pain, something about breaking away from what is comfortable that propels you onto the next period of your life. I've seen it happen with friends. I'm not even sure that they've necessarily known it. I've seen friends go through breakups, and then afterwards they create something amazing that takes off and blows up in a good way, like some kind of videos that they're starting, or some kind of channel, or online magazines, for example. If you're watching this, Brandon, I'm talking about you. So it's really important to break away from home and break away from things that are comfortable in general, because comfort is not going to help you grow as a person or as a man. We are characterized by how much pain we can endure. This is what creates strength, and this is also what characterizes from going from boy to man, is strength. You must have strength to navigate this life. This life is cruel. It has a lot of bad things in it. A lot of good things, of course, but a lot of bad things. And your ability to tolerate the bad things is what is going to characterize you and give you character. So it's such an important thing. Such an important thing. And I say break away from home because a boy must break away from the comfort of his mother in order to know his own independence, his own strength. Because as a boy, you get cared for by your mother. I still go back home, and my mum will care for me, and she'll do nice things, she'll cook nice meals, make sure I'm comfortable. And it's necessary, and I'm grateful for all of that. But I think as you get older, you must leave home, you must leave that comfort, you must learn how to fend for yourself. It's like the bird flying the nest. It's not really very different in any other species that I know of. You must flee the nest. You must get away from what's comfortable and fend for yourself. It's so important. It's so important. And it doesn't mean that you neglect your parents, because I think that that's also how it can come across. That's not what it means. It means you must learn to fend for yourself and embrace what is uncomfortable in life, so you can support them when they're older as well. Because one day they may not be able to care for you. In fact, they definitely won't be able to care for you one day, and you'll be caring for them. So you must learn how to care for yourself quickly so that you can also care for others. And that's why you must break away from home. The fourth point that I have, that I've kind of talked about in general in this whole thing, because I think it characterizes the whole point that I'm trying to make about going from boyhood to manhood. And it's not so much a principle as it is a statement. The statement is that pain equals growth. The more you put your body under pain and exertion at the gym, within reason of course, because it must be pain that is, at least somewhat tolerable, and then scales up and scales up. You put more weights on the barbell, you put more weights on the barbell as you go. But the more you understand that what is uncomfortable to you helps you to grow, the more success that you're going to see in your life, and the easier things are actually going to become. And funnily enough, the things that are easy in your life are the things that are probably hurting you the most. If you're on Facebook, Instagram, you're getting all these hits of dopamine all the time in your brain. It's a reward chemical. All the time, it's just going on and on and on. And it makes other things that are good for you more difficult. The more you experience pleasure in your life, the more the things that are good for you become harder for you. And that is one of the worst things from becoming. It doesn't even matter if you're a man or a woman, to be honest, in this instance. It's very true for both. But you must understand that pain it's a better thing than it's made out to be. It's definitely a better thing than it's made out to be. Of course, there are some kinds of pain that are absolutely unimaginable, unbearable. The loss of family members, the loss of life. And I'm not saying that these things are inherently good things. They're not. They're painful. But you'll come out the other side stronger. I've got friends that lost parents at too much of a young age. But they're really strong people. They're really strong people because of that. So yeah, so I think that's what I want to say about that one. Knowing your purpose, know who you want to be around, knowing you must break away from home and things that are comfortable in general to grow, to build character, to build yourself, to build your independence, so you can prop other people up. And knowing that pain equals growth. Embracing things that are uncomfortable so that you are able to take on more of what is uncomfortable when you don't have a choice to. And the funny thing is that it sounds like, oh, well, I wouldn't want to take on things that are uncomfortable all the time. That doesn't sound like a good life, right? But that's wrong. Because the more that you take on tasks and challenges that are uncomfortable, maybe you see an attractive person and you're scared of going up to them, but you do. You embrace that pain, you embrace that fear. You get a reward at the end. It's just that the reward is much longer, it's much further in the distance, but it's much greater. It's much greater. It's like with exercise. You don't go to the gym and then see that your muscles have just gone, massive overnight. It's a long, long process. But the reward is greater than any kind of short-term gratification you're going to get. Short-term gratification is just the bane of growth. From becoming boy to a man, if you're constantly focused on short-term gratifications, sex, drugs, gambling, whatever it is that gives you a short, instant release, that's going to be bad for you. It's going to wire your brain to thinking that, oh, I just need to do quick things. And quick things are going to give me that hit that I need and I'll be fine. But that's not the way it works. Or it's not the way it should work. It's not going to set you up to be strong for the future and get those bigger rewards down the line. So anyway, I gotta wrap this up now. So it's a 15-minute video, which I don't know. Let me know if you like the length of these videos as well. But yeah, becoming a boy to a man requires courage. It requires some balls, really. You know, you've got to step outside your comfort zone, and stepping outside of your comfort zone, as well as being around the right people, is when you're going to find you are growing the most socially, mentally, physically, in your business life or your career or whatever it is you're planning to do. So anyway, that's where I want to leave this one. Like and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube, and feel free to share it if you think it's going to be useful to someone you know. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.